the forces of the sun. The outside were the rulers. The calendar, like I told you, has like the behavior, if we can say it like that, of all the cosmos. But it also has like the personal influences. By the day you were born, in the time, like kind of astrology, but very different. You have like a study of yourself that is named Tonal Nahual. Your tonali, your nahuali, who you are in the tonal, which are the challenges for your awaken that are given by the sun. But we are the only culture, at least that I know, that we have the study for who you are in the nahual. How does your nahual behaves in the night before knowing anything? It's so interesting because probably you have seen that there are wonderful people in the tonal, that they are vegetarians, meditate a lot, and they suddenly get sick. And there are terrible persons in the tonal that never happens to them nothing. It doesn't have logic for the karma laws and all those things, but for us it's totally logic. You must know who is your lord or your lord of the night, who is your nahual. So probably you are impeccable and a very good person in the tonal, but your nahual does terrible things, or is very dualistic. And there are people that in the tonal are very dualistic, but everything that they unfix, awaken, his lord or lady of the night fixes it in the sleeping. So to really know yourself, you must know who you are awake and who you are sleeping. And there is by calendar this study. But then when you have this information, is to overcome that. If you have a very bad lord of the night or lady of the night, how to command, especially commanding. For example, I have a kind of good one. So for the ones that have a kind of good one, it's easier to command the dream, but it's not so important because he will command you to positive things by nature. For example, my tonal is very complicated. I don't want to say to look like arrogant, because my tonal is really complicated. And when I was young, I had all the problems of my tonal study. But then my nahual little by little began like getting more influence, so my life changed totally. But when you know who you are awakened and who you are is sleeping, you have a much more knowledge about you and what to do in your life. So it's such a big tradition with so many things, so many tools to help, yeah, and to become the best possibility of you.
So we got the calendar that is a kind of astrological, reference of what we are, and also Darling, it's better to hurry up because we need really to prepare ourselves to any kind of situation. So I would like just to ask to Sergio, how are those techniques and exercises to get to achieve, to not to control, but to deal with the tonal and the nahual?
Okay, for example, there are many techniques. For the tonal, for example, we have complete measures of how the universe behaves. So, for example, you try to reproduce the behavior, the rhythm and movement, that's the most exactly, of the universe in yourself by breathing. That's the most teachable thing abroad, because we have dances, mathematical dances, we have lots of ways of doing it. But for example, if you breathe with the numbers of the sun and all those things, it's like in the Holy Father, like it's in the heavens, it's in the earth, but not just saying it, doing it. So you apply the numbers of the mathematic of Venus, that for us was Quetzalcoatl, of the moon, that is the black Tezcatlipoca, the unconscious, the sun, and create the rhythms of the cycles of the universe, the 52, that is our relation with the Pleiades, and making exercises with that. It's so wonderful to reestablish like the measure and movement of the universe into you. For the nahual and the hidden part and all those things, this is the kind of training of some kind of readings before going to sleep, to plant dreams with the exact codexes, the obsidian mirror. That is amazing. This mirror done by this black stone, polished like a mirror, where you can see your unconscious and how to deal with it. And it's amazing when you see your what we call Yaotl, your own enemy, the one of you, the part of yourself that destroys yourself, that makes you sick, that sabotages yourself, and how to control it, how to enter in peace with that part of you that was apparently hidden and that people don't want to face. How to transform your Yaotl, your enemy, into a friend. Oh, there are so many things we could say.
Oh, this is very interesting. Very interesting, you know.
I love it. That's why I dedicated all my life to this.
Yeah, but you know, to help ourselves, even to help the dark part that we have, the shadow of, you know, our life that sometimes drive us crazy, because you feel to have no control about your life. Instead, you give us a tool to lead our life and not be led by a dark or a stranger that is inside ourselves. So it's very important. Can you explain it a little bit more?
Of course. I know now in all the new age and mainly the lots of traditions, they are so worried about the light. I'm not criticizing angels to be with the purple light, everything good, to become the good one. Yeah. For us, the archetype of the good one was Quetzalcoatl, that is like kind of the knowledge. But we say in the tradition, it begins in the black Tezcatlipoca. It can be a black Tezcatlipoca that never develops in a Quetzalcoatl, but there haven't been never a Quetzalcoatl that didn't begin in the black Tezcatlipoca. So for us, the main training, it begins in the darkness of your own cave, the unconscious, the dreaming, and transforming that, and then you can get to the light. If not, it's just you have good moments in meditations and other things, but then you go back to who you were. You never develop really into a changed person, because you never took control of those hidden parts of you that are quite. It's, for example, the black Tezcatlipoca. We have it divided in several stages. The idea of you, the story you gave to that idea. In Nahuatl, they have all Nahuatl names. The enemy, the part of you that makes you fight with the others, the part of you that surrenders to your temptations. All these kind of steps that were part of yourself. That's why it's the training in the mirror. You can see how the eyes change of all of them one, and how to make that friend that was your own enemy, and that we all have. We must accept it to become a friend.
Thank you. Really thank you, Sergio. Do you like to say something to our darling?
I would like to say to people to really make of these years the best you can. If you have the information, do something with that in the tradition you want, but act. The universe is being born in a new cycle now. you can be born again. So it's your opportunity to rise with the sun. So use it.
Thank you very much to you, Dalin, to have been with us, and thanks to Sergio for his important work. Thank you, Sergio.
Oh, thank you to you. Tlazocamati, nahuatl, marshal, tlazocamati to everyone that hears this. I am so happy to do it. I am so happy to there was a prophecy in Mexico of the last Tlactuani, that was the ruler, that he said, let's before the conquest, 2 days before, let's hide in our houses. Let's transmit this knowledge from father to son, from master to student, because it will be needed with the sixth son, and the time is now. And now is when it's going out. So I'm so happy to be part of that ancient prophecy of Cuauhtémoc 500 years ago, that he said that this knowledge was going to be needed and understand in all the world in these times.